What's good, listeners? Welcome to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Bunker Edition. How's my amazing co-host Marissa Pitts doing? How you doing, fam?
Amazing, as usual. Beautiful, sunny California day, less humid. I've been dying in
Yeah,
humidity.
it's been like hazy on a level. It's been weird. We're getting some crazy rainstorms or thunderstorms, I must say, in Big Bear. What the heck is going on? But hey, we got a great show for everybody that's tuning in live. But before we even begin the show, since you're joining us live, you might as well hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss a live show. And we're excited to be here programming live out of Los Angeles, California. And we always like to do this at the start of the show because on this day, believe it or not, the first Friday of every August is celebrated as International Beer Day. I don't know about you, CCS family, but I'm going to have to grab myself a 30 rack of Budweiser after hearing that, fam. But also, we like to do this because I think this is really cool, very jazzy. On this day in 1975, the first all-female hard rock band is formed when producer Kim Fowley puts together The Runaways, featuring Jonah Jett and Lita Ford. You might remember that little call-in from our very first Off the Fret episode with the Blowies. And we want to give a big shout out again to a huge guest that's coming back. He's returning. He's got a brand new LP called 50 Acres and a Cadillac. That is rapper EC Mayne. We are looking forward to chatting him up during our Strike a Chord segment. And also don't forget to check out our Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast featuring Animal Sun as we talk about their brand new LP, Generation Waiting, out today. And let's surpass it to the 6,000 views this weekend, fam. But hey, stick around. The show is just getting started. So let's roll it, Marissa. This one's called Say It.
I'm beyond livid.
That's what's been irking me like crazy.
Psycho X.
We hope that he grows from this.
No, legit, I was trying to figure that out also.
Whatever's on our mind, there's something that's been griping.
So, I get to just say it.
That's my question, Marissa. Yes, ma'am, you get to indeed just say it. This is whatever is on our mind this week, and let's just kick it right off. The White House declared monkeypox a public health emergency. A public health emergency can trigger grant funding and open up more resources for various aspects of a federal response. It also allows the secretary to enter contracts for treatment and other necessary medical supplies and equipment, as well as support emergency hospital services, among other things. And I guess the reason I wanted it to form it this way is I didn't know if you knew this, Marissa, and I'm not sure the rest of the CCS family has been taking this serious to be on a level, because I had no idea that the United States now is the world's biggest outbreak of the monkeypox. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised because the United States is huge. Like, we are a large country. I'm not surprised. I am surprised that we're bigger than where it started out of Africa. I think it was Nigeria, where this outbreak started, where a doctor in 2017 told the World Health Organization, yo, monkeypox is being spread sexually. It is not how it was. It was before it was spread by usually children playing with monkeys, just playing around, and then they would catch it, and then they would pass it on to their family members through contact, touching, like not washing their clothes, sleeping in the same bed, stuff like that, using the same washcloths, and it was pretty easy to contain. Now that it's being spread sexually, and what happened was a child caught it, and he got it from a relative who had caught it sexually. Right, so they don't know where that all came from. On there, I'm gonna say out there.
But doesn't this kind of? But even when you speak like this, Marissa, my first reaction is thinking about the AIDS epidemic. I mean, why are we so underprepared for these kind of situations to unfold? I mean, we just recently went through the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, why is it that we always have to go through a president to make these things happen? Because after all, I mean, a lot of people fault the Trump administration for not moving fast enough to respond to COVID-19. But then again, he did launch Operation Warp Speed.
But it's not, it wouldn't have been better if it was Trump, Biden. I don't care who would have been in. Obama, right? Our administration, all administrations, paperwork, slow mail, they make money by having their little meetings and conferences. And so I'm not surprised that everything is going so slowly, because that's the whole nature of administrations. I mean, look at
but it's like,
colleges. Look, no
why
matter
are
where
we?
you are.
I'm glad you're mentioning this, Marissa, because I feel like it's like we're not moving in the 21st century. I mean, I always joke multiple times on air that it's like when Congress is still operating on fax machines, we can't get anything done swiftly. And
legit.
so, like, I guess
who's doing a fax machine anymore? Like, take a picture, scan, PDF. Like, let's go, people.
Yeah, like that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like we always have to get the clearance from the POTUS to make anything happen. What I feel like we still haven't learned anything yet, and I feel like health officials need to be able to bypass a federal response. I don't understand why we haven't been pushing faster for a vaccine for monkeypox.
But then how much power do you give the health, who's then calling the shots on how we contain it? We saw that.
Well, I mean,
COVID,
you did say that they found it back in 2017. So, I mean, if we did find that response, the funding should have already been started.
Yes, and the reason it wasn't is they chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
And the doctor that said it said he was told to be quiet, told to not report it. So there actually could be larger numbers in Africa. We're just reporting in America.
Yeah.
He believes there are way more numbers in Africa where it came from that are underreported.
Absolutely. And I know that the United States is the world's biggest outbreak as of this date. There's over 6,600 Americans who have been diagnosed since mid-May. But hey, we want to know what you think. I want to know from you, the CCS family. Just say it. Are you concerned about the monkeypox here in America, or are you just letting it slide? Join us in the live chat below. But also, we're going to switch it up a bit because obviously this has been the biggest story in the pop culture industry this week. And Beyonce has confirmed that she will remove an ableist slur from her new song, Heated, just weeks after Lizzo removed the same word from her song, Girls. Is Beyonce tone deaf, or is the world too sensitive? We asked you, the CCS family, on our Instagram channel to join the conversation. And here are some of the responses that we have gotten from the CCS family. And I know Kendra Exotic wrote, people are so sensitive in today's world. It's pathetic. With Dank Boydie saying soft AF, which we all know where he's going. He says, leave spaz in the song. Lol. While we also got eWall90 wrote, my opinion, the word police are toxic. Any person or people who feel and believe that they get to decide what words are allowed to be said are out of line. I'm certain whoever called out Beyonce is a narcissistic virtual signaler who competes with other social justice warriors. But then again, the conversation was split because we had Mr. Deuce himself feel like we need to change these offensive words against an underrepresented minority, just like phasing out the words like retarded that used to be common but just aren't necessary in society today. Even Catherine Barnes agreed by saying, I think it was the right thing to do, especially since Beyonce and Lizzo have the funds necessary to make the change. I myself personally, Marissa, feel like the world has gotten a little too sensitive. I think we all understand what Beyonce is saying when she says spaz it on that ass, but how do you feel?
Okay, so I don't necessarily think like she had to change the song necessarily. In the future, if that's an issue, then not having it in the song, because the word spaz, how she's using it, is being used differently. But the word spaz came from spastic. It literally came from someone who's a neurological disorder where they cannot control their body parts. They're twitching, flailing around, and do not have control of it. I grew up, I used the word spaz as a derogatory slang to people who acted not like out of the norm. So they were being weird and just doing weird spastic stuff, right? That is how the word was used. Making it as a spaz in a sexual term or whatever, or dancing, that's a newer trend of the word.
Are you sure? Because
yes,
spaz it on the Webster dictionary says it means go crazy. It's a term that is meant to have fun.
I just swore up the Webster dictionary because I was like, I don't know, Chris. Slang, often offensive. One who is inept and a klutz.
All
pull
right,
it up, Webster Dictionary.
Yeah, I know, but the Webster Dictionary literally says go crazy.
Yeah,
I've looked it up myself, and I know that's the update. I understand that is where some people are going at, but it is interesting how someone like Beyonce, who is using spazzing on that ass, but then literally is so tone deaf to not even realize that her own people in the same hip hop genre literally just had to remove the word a couple weeks ago. And my reasoning for why Beyonce is so quiet is because she's not in line. She's got over 24 writers just alone on the Alien Superstar song. And so maybe she doesn't even realize that she maybe put in an ableist slur in. But then there are people that, like myself, who were very honest during the Lizzo conversation that had No idea that even spaz was even considered like this naughty word. And I know that there is a lot of frustration with people who are changing the definition of terms today, just like how people are upset with the Biden administration changing the term for recession. And I know there's also people speaking out like Monica Lewinsky, who is calling for her name to be removed from music, which I think this is very fascinating. And we're going to be igniting this same conversation with rapper Mayne. So stick around because we got more left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Yeah, that's right, baby. We are here. This is the week's wrap where Marissa and I discuss all the latest news circulating around the world. Here is the week's wrap. The Batgirl movie featuring Leslie Grace, Brandon Fraser, J.K. Simmons, and Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman is canceled. The $90 million film had a test screening where the audience reportedly thought the film was like, quote, a bad episode of TV. Ouch. So, new owners and management of Warner Brothers Discovery actually responded this morning to why they wanted to remove the Batgirl movie. And they just felt like it wasn't good enough to be released on the big screen and on their HBO Max, and which is kind of creating a conversation, Marissa, right now that they are actually trying to set up a roadmap very similar to Marvel, where they actually plan out these movies 10 years in advance. And it sounds like they're going to possibly take The Rock as the lead into this new DC universe. I mean, what's your take on all this?
But I'm surprised it's 10 years. 5 years I could see. I guess 10 years. I'm like, wow. I feel like we changed so much in a decade that's crazy. I'm really sad, though, because I do like Michael Keaton, but I'm glad I didn't see bad TV then.
Well, don't you think it's kind of wild to know that, like, this was one of the two films that Michael Keaton was supposed to reprise his role with Batman, and the only thing that we can rely on now is The Flash, which is technically kind of up in arms because that actor, which I can't even think of his name right now at this moment, but he's been under fire because he's getting in fights at, like, karaoke clubs. He's throwing chairs at women. He's beating up women. It's like he's prowling on young men. There's a lot of weird things happening, and I think with Warner Brothers Discovery, I think they totally want to change it into a totally different direction, and we clearly see that because in other news with Warner Brothers Discovery, they announced that Lady Gaga is joining the DC universe, set to appear opposite of Joaquin Phoenix.
She'll be amazing.
Well, let's let the people know what's good. I mean, she's supposed to appear opposite of Joaquin Phoenix in the upcoming sequel of The Joker. They did drop a little teaser video where she's kind of wearing like this dress that kind of looks like she's a maid. I mean, a lot of people are kind of assuming that she's going to be playing Harley Quinn.
100%. And she's going to kill it. She's going to be amazing. I'm sorry. There are moments where I'm like, okay, you're weird. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, why are you wearing a meat dress? There are moments where I'm like, Gaga, honey, baby, right? But I love her. I like her acting. I do. I love her singing. I love her style. I love her.
Well, I think this is going to be definitely a different rendition of what we're all used to when it comes to Harley Quinn. After all, spoiler alert, everybody who hasn't seen the Joker film, well, it kind of ends with him at the Arkham Asylum. So it sort of sounds like the psychiatrist at the asylum, which has been written in the comic books, is Harley Quinn assisting the Joker. So we will see what's good, but let us know if you're hyped for these films. But oh boy, a lot going down that gives people financial anxieties. With the recessions, inflation, and an out-of-reach housing market, millennials are no strangers to financial anxiety. A recently published report by the site Real Estate Witch and The Hill found that 70% of millennials have more than $100,000 worth of debt, with most of it not connected to mortgage. So when you think about those kind of numbers, Marissa, I hate to use you as an example, but 63% of millennials believe that they can pay this off in the next 1 to 5 years. But, a lot of this is coming from student loan debt or a credit card. So Do you think these people in this survey are totally out of pocket with what the reality is today?
That credit card debt is payable, and I can see people doing that. And with the recession, it's going to be real tough. They better put that timeline a little longer. But like student loans, like I don't even know when I'll pay mine back. I'll be honest. Like I would love to give back, but when 50,000 of that is interest on my $50,000 loan, I'm kind of like,
Well, they even found even in
that
they even found in that same real estate witch survey that was also reported with The Hill that some cats, not just in the millennial generation, some that are 80 to 90 years old, might be your grandma, are still paying debt, and a majority of that is coming from student lones, which is something that the Biden administration has been pressed on for a full year and a half.
All they need to do is bring it back.
And
all they need to do is bring it back it was, I believe, the late 80s or early 90s, they stopped it, where you could bankrupt out of it. You had to show good faith that you tried to pay it. And then you were able to bankrupt out of it like every other debt in America. It is actually our constitutional right.
Aren't they sort of trying to do something similar to that, where they say, hey, work a 10-year federal gig, and then
that's not bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is our federal right. It is in our Constitution to be able to reorganize our debt that you cannot pay, right? That is why it's in there. And we used to be able to do student loans in a 13 or in a 7. And what happened was doctors and lawyers exploited it. Right. And so they were like, oh, wait, all these guys are exploiting it. So we're going to go ahead and take it away from everybody. And if they just brought it back, the people who could not pay it, who fall within the guidelines of federal, would be able to do what every American does with every single debt in their life: reorganize it or walk away from it.
Yeah, sorry. Or if we're not going to, what's there to be sorry about?
I'm heated, y'all.
Trust me, I got the same growing frustration as well. And if you're not going to be able to forgive $10,000 with the student loans, well, you need to come up with a fixed interest rate. I know that that's one of the biggest things that a lot of Americans have been calling for. And I think that's the right thing to do, especially since there are guys and girls in America who decided not to go to college, who some of them feel like they're on the fence where, why do I have to pay for your student loans?
I'm a firm believer that, look, I have no problem paying my student loans. I have a zero problem. You know what? That interest that I can't get out of, that's what needs to be rewritten. Give me an interest rate that makes sense, right? I'm not saying it has to be 2%. Even give me a 4 to 5% be fine. I'm at 11 to 12% right now. And I'm coming compound interest on top of that. And it's like, it's the interest is what's killing people because they can't pay their loans off in time. I have no problem paying back my principal balance. I don't even want it forgiven. Honestly, I'll pay it. I took it out.
And I think that needs to be the final say when it comes to it. But it is totally insane to think that millennials are over $100,000 in debt. Crazy. But not as crazy as this one, I must say. As someone who is a gigantic music lover who is finally getting back into the live music scene, well, organizers of Music Midtown, a major festival in Atlanta, announced that the 2-day event originally scheduled next month is canceled due to legal concerns surrounding Georgia's gun law. The festival attempted to ban weapons, but does not have the standing to supersede the law and enforce its own ban. So it's kind of nuts because the headliners were supposed to make the return of My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Future, Jack White. This is supposed to be a very diverse genre of music. So now, that state has a very unclear case that a lot of people are bringing up. For example, what happens if you have a privately organized concert, but in a very public venue, like a city park? Is that a private event or is that a public venue? And the second point that I got to bring up, CCS family, is I did not know this, and I'm a little shocked. I actually had to go into Live Nation's policy, but I'm actually quite amazed that they don't have a fine print that just says no weapons are allowed. Like if you read it, it sort of says like, no weapons unless it has a permit and etc. I mean, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is, Marissa, do you really want to go to a concert knowing that the guy next to you might possibly have a gun in his holster? To me, that's a little strange. I mean, I'm all cool with Americans owning the right to bear arms and all that fun jazz, but isn't there a point where a live concert is a live concert? Can we just not do all that shit?
I mean, and then it's pretty crazy to think you'd go to a show with just drunk, out of their head people with firearms. I mean, I don't think that's going to be that's a recipe for disaster. I'm for gun rights. That was a recipe for disaster. All I know is in LA, you can't go into a venue with a studded belt. empty bullet belts, right?
A
chain to connecting your pants to your wallet.
Yeah.
You can't go in. So I don't think California is going to have to be facing this anytime soon. But yeah, I think I'd be sketched, knowing that there was a lot of people wearing guns and drinking and partying. I mean,
I
I
wouldn't even want my security holding a holster for a gun.
I mean, security's not drinking and partying. I mean, that's what I'm coming down to.
Well, that too, but they're also, we found out with the Travis Scott situation at Astroworld that they're not the best prepared to handle a concert. So why would we even give them the opportunity to get a gun?
They're not that drunk dude or woman, right? Who's like, you bumped him, spilled my drink. Let me pull out my Uzi.
Right? Or a Glock. And they're just like, hey, fuck you, bro. I was standing here. You're not going to keep pushing me. I'm in the front. I don't care that I'm 6'5" and you're a little 5-foot girl. Stop touching me or you're going to taste this Glock. Like, to me, it's a recipe for disaster. We all know how Rolling Loud went down. People were talking about how they couldn't control that situation. So, guys, Georgia, for the love of God, we understand what you're trying to do, but for this is not the hill to die on. But this is a fun one. This is more like a fun fact for everybody that's tuning in for the week's wrap. It's one thing to last as a band for 4 decades, but you reach an all-time stature when you're one of the top touring acts of that period as well. And a new report from Pollster shows that only 5 artists have sold more tickets than Metallica over the last 40 years, and that they're the top metal touring group selling a whopping 19.5 million tickets. And I don't know about you, Marissa, I'm gonna read off this listing right now, but I'll let you go first after I say the listing. But are you surprised at any of these artists being in the top 5? Let's begin, shall we? U2, Dave Matthews Band, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, and the E Street Band, and Elton John were the 5 artists that sold more in that order. Out of those top 5, are you surprised?
Dave Matthews Band. 100%.
I thought the same thing. Who would have thought?
What is happening right now?
I know that they were very big in the 2000s, maybe in the early 2010s, but I don't hear anybody that's rushing to go see the Dave Matthews Bands anytime soon. I guess this kind of made me chuckle because I know last week we were kind of talking, about how our frustration for how, they're basically acting like ticket scalpers, Bruce Springsteen and, Metallica has been accused of this before in the past where they buy all the tickets and then they resell them and then they mark them up 5 or 10 times higher than what the venue originally had it slated. But it's just totally insane to me to even think that. So you, the CCS family, join the live chat. Are you surprised? I mean, I kind of thought a rapper by now would have been joining this, this slot, especially since the majority of them are the headlining acts for the last 5 years. But hey, this is a 40-year record, and so that's pretty insane. But you heard it first. U2, Dave Matthews Band, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, and Elton John were the 5 artists that sold more than Metallica. Yeah. And so, Marissa, we do have a video. We don't have the video. No problem.
It's not compatible. It's not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, it's all good. This is kind of
funny because it was a really good video.
This is kind of a non-compatible person too. Don't even worry about it. We could easily speak on this because this is another thing that's been very big in the pop culture news, along with Beyonce. Well, Demi Lovato is making headlines after the artist is back.
Oh, you know what? I think I can do it this way. Let me see. Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
No problem. I'm trying. Let me set up the tone for a bit. We don't need the video. We could, you and I, we could easily make this conversation happen. So Demi Lovato is making headlines after the artist is back to using she, her pronouns a year after coming out as non-binary and sharing her preference to go by they and them. She came to the decision because she is, quote, such a fluid person. I know a lot of the news media outlets were kind of spinning this a tad bit. They were saying that, she totally removed they and them. That is not the case. She is adding both she and her and they and them together, and that's now her pronouns. But Marissa says she does have the video. So let's show the clip of Demi Lovato talking about her pronouns.
I'm such a fluid person when it comes to my gender, my sexuality, my music, my creativity. It's I don't know where things are going to take me. recently I've been feeling more feminine. And so I've adopted she, her again. I've actually adopted the pronouns of she, her again. I felt like, especially last year, my energy was balanced and my masculine and feminine energy. I didn't feel necessarily like a woman. I didn't feel like a man. I just felt like a human. And that's what they, them is about for me. It's just about like feeling human at your core. Nobody's perfect. Everyone messes up pronouns at some point. And especially when people are learning, it's just all about respect.
Yeah, but it's very confusing. I mean, no, they and them is now referred to just feeling human at your core. I already feel human at my core, and I don't even need to be addressed by a pronoun.
I go by she, her, and I am livid at what she does. I try really hard. I work in universities. I try really hard to respect people who want to go by they, their, or any other pronoun that they really want to and they're by. And all she did was write a trend. She suffers from her own mental anguish. Okay. You know what I mean? And she wrote a trend. And because now all of a sudden that she wants to feel feminine, being feminine, right? If you are a they, there, that really doesn't have to necessarily mean anything to it. She literally spit in the face, in my opinion, of people who do go by they, their pronouns or any other pronoun that's not a masculine, feminine. She's like, oh, we can just change it. Cause like today I feel like this, like, oh my God, it's like my hair color. Like today I'm blue and then tomorrow I'll be green. Okay.
Well, someone who
Same
doesn't,
thing, it's bullshit. Sorry.
And you know, that's cool.
Yes.
If you're into the whole pronouns thing, that's fine. I mean, myself personally, I'm not in for this whole pronoun thing. I think it's very confusing. I just think it's getting a little bit out of control. And like you said, she did announce the they and them during non-binary awareness week in 2021. So she's only a year into they and them, and now she wants to combine together she and her.
But that's
and
the
I know
whole
people.
point.
Well, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point because people on Twitter were now trying to come to her defense, saying that non-binary people do refer to themselves as multiple pronouns. And if that's the case,
that is true. No, that is actually true.
But that's
the way
dangerous.
She did it is different. It's not dangerous.
No, it is dangerous.
Marissa,
I'll tell you why. Because there's literally people on TikTok since February who have been getting banned off social media for misgendering people. So if you get to just choose your pronoun every other year, how fucked up is that for the person that got banned for?
There are people that go by they or she because they're like, okay, look, if you call me a she, that's fine. I prefer a they, right? So there's a lot of people that do the combinations. There's actually a lot in that sense that I've come across. It is not just they, there, and that's it and call it a day. What she did is completely flippant and different than that. Because yes, it is confusing, Chris. I agree with you. Like it's confusing trying to figure it all out and put it together. I have no problem with it. And I'll go with it. Hey, I don't even care if you want to be called, Squid. All right, cool. Your name's Squid today. I don't care, right?
But
I'll address you how you want to do.
We're talking
but what
pronouns,
she's doing
though.
is different. But pronouns is, I don't care if you want to be called a they, Chris, tomorrow, I would respect you and called you a they. Like I would. It doesn't bother me. I know it bothers you. Doesn't bother me. Your opinion, my opinion. But what she did is different than people who do use a they, she, or
there's
they,
literally
he.
kids at the K through 12 level that are being, threatened with, 5 to 6 day suspensions for if you actually misgender or quote dead name a student. So yeah, I think this is a very dangerous trek that Demi Lovato is. She's not the only one that's doing this. Obviously, there's multiple people that have speaking up for her in the non-binary community. I think it's very confusing. And she even continued on in the interview by saying, when I was faced with the choice of walking into a bathroom, it said women and men. And I didn't feel like there was a bathroom in the room because I didn't necessarily feel like a woman. Like now you're trying to relate yourself with the trans community, which I just think is totally insane. I think you lose a lot of people.
Because she is mentally unstable. I'm going to throw it out there. We already know it. We've already seen it. We're seeing her breakdown.
So
right?
it sounds like she's not helping the LGBTQ+.
She's not helping the LGBTQ plus pronoun people, okay?
Yeah.
She's not helping them.
Because Marissa, I don't even have to say they and them, and I feel like I'm a human being, and I feel like I'm a fluid person too. So like every statement that she said in this,
a human is a species.
It's very, very strange. But let's move on, fam.
Hold on. What is that? Sorry about that. Good.
Wow, yeah, this is some this is the one that kind of gets under feathers me up like crazy. Like this is just totally insane. The NFL is seeking an indefinite suspension of at least 1 year plus a fine and appealing a disciplinary officer's decision to suspend Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson for 6 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Watson is accused by 24 women in Texas of sexual misconduct during a massage treatments while he played for the Houston Texans. And, it's just mind-boggling to me, Marissa, that the NFLPA is actually challenging the NFL's decision to actually reverse what former federal judge Sue L. Robinson, who is a woman, by the way, she wrote a 16-page report, and she described Watson's behavior as, quote, more egregious than any before reviewed by the NFL. So if you felt that way, why did you decide that it was only 6 games? Because let me go down some of the listing of NFL players who have been suspended in the past. Calvin Ridley, 17 games for betting. Okay, and we all understand that. You ruin the integrity of the sport because you're in the NFL as a wide receiver. That's a no-no, right? Vontez Perfect, he's 12 games. He's targeting. DeAndre Hopkins, he gets 6 games for using performance-enhancing drugs. Martavius Bryant, Josh Gordon, they both got suspended for weed. Josh Gordon was suspended for 25-plus games. Darian Waller, 16 games with substance abuse. I mean, I'm just so speechless to think that the NFLPA, which is the Players Association, would even have a problem with Roger Goodell and the NFL to even appeal this process. I feel like this was just one big waste of time. I mean, how do you feel about this, Marissa? I feel like this is just a slap in the face to women.
100%. Chris, we don't always agree, but when we agree thick. Okay,
it's just totally insane to me. I just look at a lot of the women who have been sexually harassed or been raped, and they're watching this in real time. And do you feel protected? No, I don't feel protected. No. I feel like this is totally insane.
That's been our system doesn't protect.
Well, the NFL's got to get their shit together. It's like, fuck, if this federal former judge, excuse my French, can't figure out her shit. And they hire her to do this whole, report on the whole situation with Deshaun Watson. She's comparing it to 6 games because, that's what the NFL has done in the past with other sexual misconduct. This is 24 women we're talking about. I mean, this is totally insane. And you know what the sad part is, fam? CCS family that's tuning in? The Cleveland Browns are cooperating with Deshaun Watson, and they purposely made his first-year contract the minimal pay because they knew he was going to get suspended the full year. I bet money before the season starts, Deshaun Watson will be playing a single snap going into this season. And as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, that's why you guys are referred to as the Cleveland Steamers. Yeah, it's just the truth.
I'm gonna go. That was all.
Yeah.
My face was all.
We'll just use that as a meme. Cleveland Steamers. But all right, this is wild. Although it's obvious that a diet of hot dogs and ice cream won't lead to a healthy physical life, research presented at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference in San Diego outlined that just 100 calories of processed food creates a faster rate of cognitive decline. So that is 2 cookies, CCS family. And I had to kind of laugh about this, Marissa, before I even let you jump into the mix, because you are the health nut yourself. I personally am not. But I had to talk to my mom about this. We were kind of giggling. It's like my grandma literally just came over the day before, right when I saw this article, and she brings over a bunch of cookies. And I'm thinking, this is really funny considering that my grandma Boppy is a lot more fitter than a lot of the guys you see on Twitch TV fisting down a Klondike bar. So the fact that the Alzheimer's, association is coming out saying 2 cookies a day can really ruin your cognitive decline. Well, guess what, Marissa? I don't know what your grandma was eating back then, but my grandma was eating lard. So if she was eating that kind of weird, crazy food and then the spam moving forward, it's what are we talking about? We obviously know that ultra processed food is bad for you. Yeah, it can create all kinds of things, but
the fast food, the instant dinners, that's where the processed food comes from. So it's the preservatives inside to keep this food lasting longer.
And you might be proud of me, Marissa. I haven't had a Hot Pocket in over a year.
What?
So it's a big step up in the Chris Collins show world. And I have to say that's because of my little brother Kelly, because he can fork those things down like crazy. But it's so easy when you see it inside your fridge. You're just gross, put a minute 30 on your Hot Pocket. Gross. And you're so right, Marissa. Every time I smell it, every time I see it, now I just kind of want to gag inside. I don't think it's the smart call. And I would highly encourage everybody to obviously think about your healthy lifestyle, but don't let 2 cookies, make you feel like you can't put your hand inside the cookie jar. Do you, fam? Live that healthy lifestyle, move those ham hockins, and good things will come. And I guess my final thought would be this is truly an all-timers take. Oh wait, am I gonna get canceled? Am I going to get canceled for saying that? Hold up. Oh, good thing we don't have any Yankee Doodles with all-timers tuning in for the Chris College Show. But hey, stick around. We got more left on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. What's good, listeners? Returning on Strike a Chord from Bastrop, Texas, is rapper EC Mayne, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, check out our 5th installment of Off the Fret, more music talk, featuring indie pop band Animal Sun, out now wherever you listen to podcasts. And as we get his audio and his video on in, we got the one and only rapper EC Mayne with us. So, how you doing, fam?
All right, we got to see.
I know he's coming alive, baby. But hey, we might as well hype the listening audience as he figures out all his little technical glitches. EC Mayne's got a brand new LP out right now called 50 Acres in a Cadillac, and I see the one and only. Look at the grills, baby. Look at them grills. Great job, baby.
I on this motherfucker. Goddamn, I gotta see. What's up, y'all?
What's up? How you doing, my dude?
Yeah, I don't even need the light for this shit.
Damn, that's live, baby.
Love it. What's up, dude?
We out here. I'm back live. I'm back active and attractive, man.
Yes,
active and attractive.
I was going
awesome.
through a little depression, a little slump, all that Miss Katie talk, like with y'all and everybody, when it got around Thanksgiving, and I sat in that house, and that was the first holiday I ever spent without that lady in 30 years.
Yeah, man.
All that gangster, EC, Mayne, strap guard, all that.
So what is that? Is that out the window? No more strap guard?
No.
I mean, are we still spoken and riding?
Back, but I'm just speaking about that time. And then when I interviewed with y'all, it was like kind of right after that, I was getting my mojo back, man, because they did
getting your mojo. Okay, I see you. That's no problem, because I know
BMI,
in private,
I'm head of BMI every day. Broadcast Music Incorporated. Michael Jackson was with BMI. Selena. I'm with
Hey, snap, dude! Congratulations. That's huge. Like really cool, man.
We'll make it happen, baby. I think that is so cool. And I know in private you reached out to Marissa and I wanting to come back on again because, you kind of were sounding like you weren't happy with your very first appearance, but now you're back on. So, what's on your chest? Talk to me. What's going on, my dude?
My second appearance when I came on the Thunderstorm show.
Music Storm.
That's what I wasn't happy with, that one. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to come back. Because, man, y'all were used to the first one. We were live. You live in the high life like Mac Miller.
Yep.
I'm back living that high life nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
I think that's cool.
And you came to LA also in between that and now. And how did you like LA?
Oh, man, I was just in LA in April. I got the red carpet treatment. My people been waiting on me to come to LA. But like I said, I was on probation for so many years, for 10 years. Hell, I was like a damn, I got chickens now. I got to, if you tie the rope to a rooster and then for a couple of days and then you take it off, he's still going to stay in the same spot because he doesn't know where to go.
Right.
So my homegirl was like, yeah, come on, I'm going to take you out to LA. Her cousin hooked us up with a 2021 Benz rental. I went down Figueroa. I said, I want to go to Figueroa. I want to go see the hood. I want to go to South Central. I want to go see what I saw.
Well, that's cool, man. But hey, let's talk about your record, because I think your brand new LP, 50 Acres in a Cadillac, is out now on all audio streaming services. And as a whole, what's this record all about?
Okay, 50 Acres in a Cadillac. I dropped it on Juneteenth. If you know your Texas history, Juneteenth is the day that the slaves were released from Texas. Texas was the last state to get the memo that we were free. The whole United States is free and Texas is still slaves. So in reparation, they said, here, we're going to give each family 40 acres and a mule. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, hey, I want 50 acres in a Cadillac.
Yeah. Hey, that's that new deal,
that's hard. See, that's cool. I would have never
never
known that hidden reference. I think that's really cool that you correlated it with your release date and the album title. And I think that's so cool. And, EC Mayne, I'm beyond excited to be able to announce this right now on Strike a Chord. But we're going to have the world premiere of your music video, All of My Emotions, happening right now on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. And how are your emotions? Are you feeling angry? Are you envious? Are you anxious and excited? Talk to me. What's going on?
I made that song because, I've been on some little love, you know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get back on my strap guard, and as a guard, I have to.
And how do you become that strap guard?
You have to love everybody, man. You have to show love and you have to give love, even when love isn't given back to you. That's how you get your blessings. I'm like Zeus, like Thor, like Zeus. I'm not saying I'm a god, like the one god that everybody praises.
So you're like a deity.
I'm a deity. That's what I am. Yes, a demigod. I'm kind of like Loki. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Loki's my favorite. Yes.
Come on, man, that's me. And come on, man, that's me. I'm Loki. He's in me every day,
So you just bottle up all your emotions in one, and it's
so
just
I'm
really
letting y'all know right now how I've been feeling. When I'm with my Cali, you know what I'm saying? She like my Griselda Blanco back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So we're out the game now. So she's down with my Acting Bad LLC, she flew me out to LA. Like this is how I felt after I came back from LA. All of my emotions,
And I think that's so cool, man. I think it's that time.
Player stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's been a minute since I felt like that, you know what I'm saying? So I had to make a video about it.
Well, I can already tell. I mean, your personality, it feeds off everybody, my man. And, and again, Marissa and I were so honored to be able to have that opportunity to showcase the world premiere. Again, CCS family, the world premiere of EC Mayne's brand new music video, All of My Emotions. So, Marissa, when you're ready, let's make it happen, fam, on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's get it, baby. Let's get it going.
That word.
The world premiere happening right now on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Your interests or who you be with, either make you smile, what numbers to dial. It was crazy when I met ya, played it cool, wasn't really trying to sweat ya. But then again, the way to go, fit the tone of your skin. Know you see the diamonds in my teeth when I grin. Probably think I'm one of them bullshit men, just trying to get in. Now I'm trying to get to know you. Don't believe me? Well, I guess I gotta show you. Damn, man, on that candy blue like school. What you doing? Where you at? You should come through and act bad. What you doing on the scene? Hey, I'm a king, you a queen. Hey, think I seen you in a dream. Hey, think I need you on my team. Hey, and I think you kinda pretty. See you at 11:30. Love it when you talking dirty. Glasses on, looking nerdy. You all love when you at your best. I don't wanna see you stressed. I just wanna see you crazy how you were sent to me. Got me feeling it was meant to be. Is it love? Is it lust? Been betrayed many times, hard for me to trust. But it's just something about you, make it hard to doubt you. Like I'm rolling on a pill. That's the way you make me feel. Tell me what you want from me. Say you dig and look easy. Acting bad, man, it's my year. Girl, the future looks so clear. Act bad with a player. All night long. Let's hit the scene, baby. And blow on strong. Chillin' with my broad and you already know. If you wanna reach me, hit me on the down low. If I don't call back, don't put on the show. In the city, been in corner slow, jamming on some big mo. This is my song for real, no doubt. I'm on 3 jiggers and I'm feeling peeled out. Seen you from afar, tryna find out who you are. I'm up in the Benz, coming hop inside the car.
Yeah, that's what's good. That is the world premiere of EC Mayne's brand new music video, All in My Emotions. And this is Strike a Chord, where if you physically or digitally pick up that record, you're going to know these tracks. And we got EC Mayne with us right now, and you got to check out
on
his
this
brand
fucking
new LP.
iPad Pro, man. I don't know how to work this. You know, I'm country as hell.
Yeah, hey, that was really good, EC Mayne.
Like, how y'all think
I
about
did
that?
good production quality, everything, man.
Well,
That was good.
I noticed the music visuals. You got the blue light on you, like your Candy Blue, Candy Screw Baby. I see you, but
I'd groove out to your song. I would groove.
No, I think it's so cool, man.
It.
And since we got you here and you are a returning guest, I feel like we got to have some industry talk, because I know Marissa and I, we definitely were on two sides of the aisle when it came to this conversation, when it came to Beyonce. But I can't remember a time in history where people are calling for the change of lyrics and music. And would you change your lyrics? Hold on. But let me set up the question, Marissa. Hold on. Because, I can, and that's true. Right when Beyonce dropped that song Heated, full on backlash came towards her because, people were calling for her to change the lyrics. And so let me throw this at you, EC Mayne. If you had the opportunity, would you change your lyrics if you received backlash like Beyonce?
No. I'd be like, if you don't like my new shit, you can go jam my old shit. But if you don't have to jam none of my shit. If you who do jam it.
So you're okay with that stance, Marissa? But earlier you were saying,
no, didn't you hear me? I said I would not have changed my lyrics. That's what I said.
I'm not changing
but
nothing.
I said the word spaz is derogatory.
But if people are so offended by the word spaz, but then you have that stance, I guess that's kind of confusing. Because
how's it confusing? You and I argued about where spaz came from.
Because that's what I say is ignorance. When you're not knowledgeable on the subject, if you don't know what the word means, you need to educate yourself, because the Google meaning is not what the streets. Because my people don't talk on Google. We started all this, know what I'm saying? Sipping syrup, sipping drink. My cousin DJ Screw started all that sipping syrup. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Cough syrup. They were like, my people used to talk about Screw. What the hell? He's drinking cough syrup and he's smoking embalming fluid.
But don't you think it's kind of funny that people were all offended by this whole spaz on that ass line, but don't have a problem? Or don't put that same energy into Cardi B's WAP. I mean, I just thought it was kind of funny. I mean, she's got a line here where it says, make a pretty girl talk that, whiskey till I'm tipsy, glitter on my kitty. I mean, you would have thought that some people would be offended by her degrading women, but they have a problem with this one word?
NWA is a legendary group. And listen to their album. Eazy-E got to go to the White House. Eazy-E got to the White House and talked to Ronald Reagan.
That's a good point. I mean, I just feel like
look at all the lyrics. I mean, the music has been so degrading and so ugly for so long. That's why when I came out with Candy Blue like Screw, I was trying to change the game. So that a person like me who may use foul language in my regular speaking, because I curse words to use because I speak passionately and I like to get my point across. If you say something in a cuss word, somebody gonna feel you.
But she's not using it in the way that you're saying it, though. She's saying it in a sexual way.
Spazzing means going crazy. In the streets, they'll be like, oh, you see out here spazzing again.
That's what I thought too.
And then where it came from is a derogatory term for spastic for people who did not act normal because they were not in control. That's where it originally came from.
And we totally get your point, Marissa. And I guess, because we know where you're getting at, EC Mayne, about how you wouldn't change your lyrics. But do you see more artists continuing this trend like Lizzo and Beyonce's doing right now?
I mean, that's it. People who care about other people's opinions. I don't care about another human or another man. Boy, they crucified Jesus Christ. God sent his son down here and man crucified him. That's what my grandma told me. Boy, if they did it to Jesus, what do you think they'll do to you? You care what a man say? Man, what can they tell you? Because I used to be real self-conscious about myself in the neighborhood. I can't wear this because they're going to say, oh, look at EC, he got this on. And now I don't care. Look at me. Get on Google. Get some money. That's what Beyonce saying. Go get some money. Get you some millions and billions.
Well, and like I said, and I talked about Chris about this too, is I don't even think
right now and her man has her taken care of.
Yes. And she's so out of loop, in my opinion. I think she's so rich. She's so in a whole different world than what we work in. I don't even think she knew Lizzo changed her song. And I think when her team found out and we better do this, and that's when they did it. I don't think she should have changed the song. My personal opinion, but I understand the anger. I understand, and if she wanted to change the song, it's her right.
That's why you shouldn't allow other people to be involved in your company who are not close to you. That's why I run Acting Bad Muzik. They're all my family, my friends that I've known a long time. I don't see other people, other artists that got these managers and stuff. They run their social media. They can't even Like, I can't even DM some people. Like, I'm like, what the hell? I might want to say some personal shit.
Well, that's why, I feel like Lizzo had to go into crisis control because she's got a show that's being nominated for the Emmys. And so, Beyonce, she's got a larger career span. So she doesn't necessarily have to speak up. She just quietly behind the scenes removes the lyrics, changes a sample from her music, ignores Monica Lewinsky.
Trying to appeal to the people. That's people who are really trying to please people. And that should show their character that they really want to please their fans by changing it. Because a motherfucker like me don't give a damn.
Well, I still believe because honestly, I don't think Beyonce writes any of her music recently. And really? So why would she care if she changes a word if she didn't put her soul in those lyrics?
Well, that's the problem.
Somebody who's a lyricist who knows about writing would have probably stood against it because
her management's not looking out for it. But we can go off about the whole Beyonce thing for so long.
Houston is an hour away from Smithfield. My cousin Screw went to Houston and took over Houston. Beyonce was on Screwed Up Click songs before she was even with Jay-Z. She has a song with Lil O called Can't Stop, Destiny Child. They have a video and everything. Beyonce
nice.
With the Screwed
Up trust me, we all know that Lizzo and Beyonce are totally great gals.
Destiny Child music, that was the real Beyonce. This music now they have writers. But if I can have somebody write a song for me and I can make $1 million, hell, I'd do it too.
I love the honesty, EC Mayne. And let's go ahead and play one of my favorite tracks from 50 Acres in a
everybody else working hard in Houston, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people working, you know what I'm saying? Why is she under the magnifying glass? If you're gonna judge one, you should judge all. If you're gonna clean up one goddamn song, you might well clean up every damn song now.
Well, that's why I'm afraid this is turning into a Tipper Gore situation. It's like, where the fuck's Dee Snider to come up in front of Congress and be like, this is totally crazy that we're trying to censor music? That's why I feel like this is exactly. And I feel like this is a very dangerous slope. And I don't like the idea that people are changing terms and definitions, whether you want to call it street slang or dictionary, whatever. But hey, let's play the opening track to 50 Acres in a Cadillac. This is my favorite song off the album. This song is called Bladez. And Marissa, let's go ahead and play that opening track live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
And I want to show you how you all look like beautiful stars tonight.
I stay on my grind, now I don't slip. Haters trip when they see me drip. Smoking 93 in the foreign whip. Ocean views, man, I feel like nip. Every day's a blessing, ain't no more stressing. Wins and losses, we just take it as lessons. Prayers go up, then blessings come down. Diamonds say cheese, haters rather see me frown. I just came from that place where they sleep on cots. Now I'm out in D-Town with Raylan Watts. And that's all out the spiel, I ain't got no deal. Her IG follower was like 1 mil. I'ma pull up new Mercedes with some sexy ladies. Rest in peace, chill, the game cold, but it's gravy. Like yay, man, I had to switch my style up. Hopping like way in the hills, watch the money pile up. Hustle flow like DJ, trapping, pimping, rapping. Boys claim to do the same, but they tricks, I know they capping.
Still trying to get this cheese. We still trapping on the ladies. We still party down in NYC. Let's bring it all the way home. Still trying to get this cheese. We still trapping on the ladies. We still party down in NYC. Let's bring it all the way home. Texas.
Still got a thick one like Texas toast. But grandmama say, baby, bless his soul. DJ Screw play the record slow. You're letting out the air, nigga, shut the door. You fucked up once, need a second go. If you don't jump off the porch, you might never know. No, you might never know. Oh shit, I used to hit Harlem off a phone. Bits 2X, 3X, it all fits. Late the school flies, nigga, in the office. All through the 90s, hitting licks in Austin. Still made an impact, it was automatic. I got Pokemon and Jordan 13 holographics. You know TV, no antenna, I want all the static. So dope, went to the store when I bought all the baggies. Kitty, that nigga still the biggest wheel. Wood grain, the feeling's real. Still
trying to get this cheese. We still trapping on them ladies.
Central Town. They remember me for breaking mics down at Victory Grill. Why they hate me where you from? It's a mystery still. Pop my trunk, jamming pill. We eat so many shrimps. Come follow me, take a glimpse. No skims, we rollin' blimps. I keep it trill non-stop. From cash drop to my top. I'm still counting the guap and still acting bad on your block. Hold up.
Still tryna get this cheese. We still chopping on them BLADs. We still party down in NYC. Let's bring it all the way home. Still tryna get this cheese. We still chopping on them BLADs. We still party down in NYC. Let's bring it all the way.
You know what's good?
Home.
That is the opening track to EC Mayne's 50 Acres and a Cadillac. And man, we are running out of time, but I want to make sure to tell the listening audience that this album is out now. You can check it out on all audio streaming services. And real quickly, EC Mayne, because we really are out of time, let the CCS family know what's good. Where can they follow you on social media?
Follow me everywhere at EC Mayne, ECMAYNE. You can really type me in on Google. I come up like George Strait and everybody else.
I like that.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, that's the best.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hey,
Thank
always
you,
EC Mayne. We love having you back on, brother.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. More left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
All right, y'all.
This is What's Good, because there's so much negativity on channels 2 through 11. So Marissa and I, we like to break the mold and let you, the CCS family, know what's good. And from the moment Rachel was born, Jeannie began growing alongside her daughter as they became each other's greatest teachers. Now, after 15 years together, they share an intimate moment with the mother and daughter as they giggle their way through a heartfelt conversation around navigating Down syndrome, chasing dreams, and their profound love for one another. And we don't have this clip. Oh, well, it's
not pulling up.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately. Okay. Well, it was a really great. I'll speak into what that video was all about. And really, it was a great conversation with the daughter, Rachel, and the mother, Jenny. And really, the question that was being posed by Rachel was, were you worried about me when you gave pregnant to me? And really, it was a very heartfelt conversation. And really, Jenny wanted to reassure to her daughter, Rachel, that no, I mean, the biggest thing for her was when she got the news from her doctor that you're going to have a kid with Down syndrome, her first thought was, I hope she's not hurt. And she reiterates that same question back to her. Are you hurt? And she says, not at all. So am I concerned? No. So why would you be concerned? And I think the fact that the mom was so honest and gentle in that video, and we'll share it later on our social media. It's unfortunate. It's really great. This interview is conducted by the Skin Deep YouTube channel. They have a lot of these great interactions with humans, and I think it's a very, very cool thing. And the fact that she was so honest about her daughter's Down syndrome and didn't dance around it, I think is a beautiful thing, and I think that we should all cherish. But hey, we want to give a huge shout out again to the amazing returning guest, that is rapper EC Mayne, 50 Acres and a Cadillac. You heard it from him himself. He ain't stopping. He ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I think that's cool. BMI. That's really dope.
That's really huge.
You gotta love that. I think that's something very, very special. And we want to thank all of our active listeners for joining us every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, this show wouldn't be possible. And for everybody who hasn't checked out our Off the Fret More Music Talk podcast, go ahead and check it out today after the show. It's on our YouTube channel, or if you prefer the Audible version, it's on any kind of streaming service podcast that you desire. We're there. That's what happens, baby. And we talk with indie pop rock band Animal Sun as we discuss their brand new sophomore LP, Generation Waiting, out now today. And for anybody that wants to know what next week's guest is, join us on social media as we will give the announcement there. So make sure you follow, like, and subscribe for more updates on the Chris Collins Show. And if you like what you're listening to, Go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today and get that free CCS t-shirt. For now, fam, I know I got about 30 seconds left. I got to kind of drag it out a little bit, but I want to let you guys know you are loved. Everybody loves you, fan. If you need someone to pick you up, call your buddy. I mean, I know that like sometimes we always have that joke with millennials that we don't like to call the auto mechanic just to schedule our car for an appointment. But you know what? Sometimes those surprise calls can go a long way. So, hey, do your due diligence. Go reach out to a friend or family member. They'll love you for it. But for the weekend, enjoy yourself and stay safe out there, fam. Peace. What's good, party people? Chris Collins Show presents Music Storm 2022, hosted by Chris Collins and Marissa Pitts, featuring Royals, Hurricane Highway, Cannibal Kids, Amanda Cooksey, Astoria State, Kid Dad, Resounding, Sleep Cycles, Avenues, Freckles, Weather Worn, Just True, Sophia Marie, Music Storm 2022, available on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Peace. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat.
Hello.
You would look
Can you
so
hear me?
jazzy. I love your outfit. How far would you go to start playing live music again? This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So, are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? It's called Everything is Everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So, if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what? I love it. Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace. What's good? I'm Chris from The Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, featuring Animal Sun. This four-piece pop rock band is blowing up the charts with 100,000 monthly listeners, releasing their sophomore album, Generation Waiting, on July 27th. Joins Off the Fret. More music talk.